Welcome, dear devotees, to the ongoing reading of Valmiki's Ramayana, retold by Krishna Dharma. We've reached part 2, chapter 11, Rama meets the monkeys. High on a peak of the Rishyamukha hill, Sugriva had heard Rama's cries. He looked around and saw the two princes on the edge of the lake. He was immediately seized with fear. The two humans appeared like a couple of powerful gods. Sugriva wondered if they had been sent by his brother Vali, who bore him constant enmity. The princes' large bows and swords struck fear into Sugriva's heart. He ran back to his cave and said to his 4 companions, "Two mighty warriors, disguised as ascetics, have come here. Surely this is Bali's doing, dispatched by him with the purpose of seeking me out and killing me. Those 2 heroes will soon arrive here. What shall I do?" The 5 great apes, who were all incarnations of the gods, and who belonged to the celestial race of Vanaras, sat together and discussed. They decided to ascend a high peak and observe the warriors. Coming out from their cave, they leapt from crag to crag. As they bounded impetuously upward, they broke down large trees with their powerful arms. Tigers and leopards dashed away in fear, seeing the apes jumping about the side of the mountain. After reaching a high place, they came together and gazed down upon Lake Pampa. Sugriva's main advisor, Hanuman, who was a son of the wind god Vayu, then said, "What cause is there for concern, O Sugriva? Here are only 2 men. I do not see Vali, the actual source of your fear, nor can Vali ever come here because of Matunga's curse." Hanuman advised Sugriva to closely observe the warriors. From their movements and gestures, he would be able to ascertain their actual purpose. He should not give way to unnecessary fear. Perhaps the 2 men had come as friends. Sugriva was still not sure. He had experienced Vali's malicious anger on numerous occasions. He replied to Hanuman, No trust can be placed in kings, O wise one. They will never rest until all their enemies are destroyed. I feel that these 2 warriors are Vali's emissaries. Even if they exhibit friendship, we should be wary. Otherwise, having gained our trust, they will then fulfill my brother's wicked purpose. Sugriva told Hanuman to assume the form of a Brahmin and meet with the warriors. He should study them carefully and then report back. Hanuman, who accepted Sugriva as his king, bowed respectfully and left, leaping down to the base of the mountain. As a son of Vayu, he possessed great mystic power. He thus assumed a human form and, appearing as a wandering mendicant, approached Rama and Lakshman. Hanuman prostrated himself before the princes and inquired in respectful tones, "What brings you 2 shining ascetics to this region? You appear like a pair of royal sages, fit to rule the entire world. Your massive bows glow like rainbows. Your swords appear dreadful, and your arms are like the trunks of mighty elephants. Yet you are dressed as Brahmins, and why do you wail so despondently? Why do you search about this lake? Your presence here is a mystery, although you are indeed welcome. You seem like the sun god and moon god descended to earth illuminating this large mountain by your own luster. Perhaps you are even powerful expansions of the Supreme Lord. The astute Hanuman closely examined the two brothers. He could understand they were not ordinary men. The monkey had a deep devotion for Vishnu, and as he looked at Rama, he felt his love being awakened. It seemed he had known this human all his life, although he had never met him before. Hanuman thought carefully. Surely this was the Lord incarnate. What profound purpose had brought him here? Hanuman decided to reveal his identity. Folding his palms, he told them he was Sugriva's minister. Sugriva was the king of the Vanaras, but he had been banished by his brother. He now sought the prince's friendship and was waiting high upon the mountainside. The brothers were relaxed and smiling. They had listened attentively to Hanuman. Rama had become cheerful upon hearing his words and said to Lakshman, "This meeting is fortunate indeed, my brother. Here stands Sugriva's minister, who is the monkey we seek. My heart and mind are moved by this noble Vanara's speech. Surely he has studied every facet of Sanskrit grammar, for his words were faultless and delivered in a gentle and highly poetic style. Even an enemy with upraised sword would be made friendly by such a speech." Rama asked his brother to reply to Hanuman. Lakshman then informed the monkey that they had heard about Sugriva and wished to meet with him in friendship. Hanuman smiled, realizing that the two godlike brothers were seeking his master's assistance. He felt that Sugriva's kingdom was already recovered. The monkey joyfully spoke again. Pray tell me your purpose in having come to this lonely forest region in the first place." By gestures, Rama urged Lakshman to explain everything to Hanuman. Lakshman told him in brief all that had happened to Rama from the point of his being exiled. The narration of Rama's many misfortunes distressed Lakshman, and he spoke with tears streaming from his eyes. Describing how Kabanda had directed them to find Sugriva, the prince concluded, "This Rama, whose father Dasharatha was daily honored by all the kings of earth, and who himself possesses limitless virtues, now seeks the refuge of Sugriva, the lord of monkeys." When the prince stopped speaking, Hanuman stood with folded palms. He looked at Rama and said, "Fortunate indeed is Sugriva that you have sought him as an ally. He too is fully afflicted by grief, having lost his home and family at the hands of his powerful brother. He now lives in fear on this high mountain. Come, I shall take you to him." Rama and Lakshman looked at each other joyfully. Hanuman had assumed his form as a monkey. Hanuman then assumed his form as a monkey, and kneeling, told the princes to mount his shoulders. Then the powerful ape leapt up the mountainside, carrying both Rama and Lakshman with ease. Within a few minutes, Hanuman reached Sugriva. Setting the brothers down, he introduced them to the monkey chief. He told Sugriva all that Lakshman had said about their exile and search for Sita. Hanuman praised the two princes highly and recommended to Sugriva that he accept their proffered friendship. Sugriva looked at the two brothers, his mind awed by their brilliance and obvious power. Like Hanuman, he felt a strong love and devotion awakening in his heart. He stood up and spoke to Rama. "I am highly honored that you have sought my alliance, O Rama. Your righteousness, your virtues, and your kindness to all beings is well known. It is my gain only that you have arrived here today. O noble one, if my friendship is acceptable to you, then please take my hand. Let us enter into an abiding pact. Sugriva extended his hand to Rama, who clasped it firmly in his own. Rama vigorously embraced the monkey, and they both felt great happiness. Hanuman then lit a fire and sanctified it with Vedic mantras. Rama and Sugriva sat by the fire and swore their alliance together. They went clockwise around the fire, hand in hand. As they gazed happily at each other, Sugriva said, "May our friendship last forever. Our woes and joys are now gone, are now one. Our woes and joys are now one." Hanuman broke off a large bough. Hanuman broke off a large bough from a flowering sal tree and set it on the ground as a seat for Rama and Sugriva. He broke off another from a blossoming sandalwood tree and offered it to Lakshman. When they were all seated, Sugriva began telling Rama about himself. "I have been banished and antagonized by my elder brother Bali, O Rama, and I move about these woods in great fear. He has stolen my wife and wrested the kingdom from me. Even now he seeks to destroy me. Please grant me security from my hostile brother." Rama laughed heartily and replied, "Certainly service is the fruit of friendship. O mighty monkey, you need have no fear from Bali. That immoral monkey will soon lie dead, killed by my infallible arrows. You will see Bali struck down and lying on the earth like a shattered mountain." Sugriva was reassured. He was certain he would soon recover his wife and kingdom. He again clasped Rama's hand and thanked him. Sugriva assured Rama that he would search out and find Sita, whether she was in the bowels of the earth or the vaults of heaven. "You should know for sure," he said, "that neither God nor demon can hold Sita any more than a man can digest poisoned food." Even as that friendship between Rama and Bali was forged, the left eyes of Sita, Bali, and Ravana all throbbed. That's a mistake. Even as that friendship between Rama and Sugriva was forged, the left eyes of Sita, Bali, and Ravana all throbbed violently and simultaneously, foreboding good to the princes and evil to the other two. After the brothers and the monkeys had eaten a meal of cooked roots and forest vegetables prepared by Hanuman, they again spoke together. Sugriva told Rama that he had seen, not long ago, a great Rakshasa flying overhead, clutching a crying lady. "Rama, Lakshman, this must surely have been Sita being stolen by Ravana." Sugriva continued, "I saw the princess wriggling like a snake in the demon's grasp. She spotted me sitting with my 4 companions on the mountain top. She then threw down her jewels, wrapped in a cloth." Rama grasped the monkey's arm. "You saw my beloved Sita? Where are those jewels? Bring them quickly." Sugriva got up and entered deeply into his cave. After a few minutes, he returned holding the cloth bundle Sita had thrown. He laid it out before Rama, and the brilliant jewels shone in the bright sunshine. Rama dropped to his knees and began sobbing, "Sita, my darling." He pressed the jewels to his bosom. Thinking of his kidnapped wife, he began to hiss like a serpent, provoked in its hole. He turned to Lakshman, who had knelt by his side. See here, O Lakshman, Sita's bright jewels. The Rakshasa must have carried her this way. Lakshman gazed at the jewels and replied to Rama, I do not recognize the armlets or earrings, for I have never looked at the face or body of the princess. But I recognize the anklets, which I saw each day as I bowed at her feet. Rama stood quickly and spoke to Sugriva. Tell me, where the demon has taken Sita? Where does he dwell? O Sugriva, on account of that demon, I shall exterminate the entire Rakshasa horde. By carrying off Sita, he has opened wide the portals of death. Let me know his whereabouts, and I shall dispatch him to death's presence this very day, accompanied by all his followers. Sugriva's head fell. He told Rama he had no knowledge of Ravana's whereabouts. The city of the Rakshasas was unknown to the monkeys, as it was to humans. Perhaps it even lay on some other planet, for the Rakshasas could move freely anywhere. But Sugriva solemnly swore that he would find Sita. Rama should not lament. Whatever it took to locate the princess, Sugriva and his monkeys would undertake. So Sugriva reassured Rama, do not allow grief to overpower you, O great hero. Wise men face every calamity with fortitude and do not yield to sorrow. Only the foolish are overcome by lamentation, losing their intelligence and strength and sinking like an overloaded boat. O Rama, I am here to help you. Cast away your grief. Rama wiped his face with his cloth and smiled at Sugriva. He felt comforted by the monkey's words and thanked him for his counsel. He urged Sugriva to begin the search for Sita immediately, and he again promised to kill Vali. Sugriva and his ministers felt immense pleasure to hear Rama's promise, and they considered their purpose accomplished. Sugriva vowed his unending and unswerving friendship and service to Rama, who then asked, Tell me how you came to be exiled, dear friend. Why do you tarry here on this lonely mountain, suffering grief and fear? Sugriva then told Rama his story. Although I had ascended to the throne of the monkeys under the instruction of Vali's ministers, I was deposed and chased away violently by Bali. Even my dear wife was stolen by my powerful brother. Still, he antagonizes me. Many times I have killed monkeys set by him for my destruction. Thus it was that I feared even you when I first saw you arrive here. Rama wanted to hear all the details about Vali. He asked Sugriva to relate the whole history. What were Vali's strengths? What were Vali's strengths and weaknesses? Why had he insulted Sugriva? Rama was already feeling anger toward Bali. He wanted to know everything about the arrogant monkey. Then he would take the necessary steps. He again reassured Sugriva, Speak with confidence. Soon you will see my arrow streak toward Bali's chest and him falling like a cleft mountain. Sugriva, feeling delight, said, Bali and I are the two sons of Riksharaj, the king of the monkeys. My father and I always held Bali in the highest esteem. When the king died, It was Bali, as the elder prince, who was duly installed as the ruler. I always remained subservient to my brother, standing by his side. Sugriva described how one day a demon named Mayavi had come to Kishkinda, the monkey's city. He had a dispute with Bali over a woman, and he stood outside the city gates, bellowing fearfully and challenging Bali to a duel. Bali was sleeping, and Mayavi's roars woke him. He got up furiously and immediately rushed out of the city with Sugriva by his side. When Mayavi saw the two huge monkeys emerging from the city, he became fearful and ran away. Bali and Sugriva gave chase and were gaining on the demon when he suddenly entered a large hole in the earth. Upon reaching the hole, Bali decided to go after Mayavi, and he told Sugriva to wait for him. Although Sugriva implored his brother to take him, Bali went alone into the hole. He bound Sugriva on oath to remain at the entrance of the hole until he returned. A year passed, and Sugriva waited. There was no sign of Bali. Sugriva began to fear his brother had been killed. He stayed at the hole, feeling misgivings. Then, as he sat watching the hole, a large amount of foaming blood began to seep out. Sugriva also heard the roaring sound of the demon, but he could not hear his brother's voice. Thinking carefully, Sugriva concluded with great sorrow that Bali must have been killed. Not wanting the demon to escape, Sugriva placed an enormous boulder over the hole. He then returned, grieving, to Kishkinda. Bali's ministers then installed Sugriva on his throne, although he was reluctant to accept it. However, after only a short time elapsed, Bali returned, having killed the demon. When he saw Sugriva on the throne, he became enraged. He bound the ministers in chains and spoke harshly to Sugriva, explaining that he had found Mayavi after a full year of searching and had slain him and all his kinsmen. He then turned back, only to find the entrance of the hole blocked and Sugriva gone. Sugriva was full of reverence toward his brother and bowed before him, touching his feet with the crown. He told Bali how pleased and relieved he was to see him returned. Sugriva would again happily become his brother's servant. But Bali would not be placated. He accused Sugriva of deliberately shutting him up in the hole out of a desire to gain the kingdom. He threw Sugriva out of the city with only a single cloth wrapped around him. Bali also stole his brother's wife. Sugriva concluded his story. Thus it was that I came to be wandering about, accompanied by only a few close friends and advisors. Ranging the earth in fear of Bali, I finally sought shelter upon this mountain, knowing that he cannot come here due to a curse. Rama smiled at Sugriva. Once more he gave him every assurance that the cruel and immoral Bali would soon be punished. I will soon dispel your grief at losing your wife, O king of monkeys, even as the sun dispels a morning mist. Sugriva looked at Rama. With his powerful frame and huge bow, he was truly an impressive sight. Surely he could easily overpower even the mightiest of warriors. But Bali was no ordinary opponent. Although raised by Riksharaj, Bali had been born the son of Indra. He possessed strength beyond compare. No one could face him in battle. Therefore Sugriva felt uncertain. He began to describe Bali's prowess. Each day upon rising, Bali, for exercise, strides from the western to the eastern ocean. Then he moves to the southern shore, and again bounds from there to the northernmost coast. He knows no fatigue, and climbs to the top of mountains, hurling down their huge peaks with his bare hands. I have seen Bali snap numerous massive trees as if they were small sticks. Sugriva then told Rama about Bali's encounter with another celestial demon called Dundubi. This demon was accustomed to roam about in the form of a terrible-looking buffalo. He possessed the strength of 10,000 elephants and was wandering around looking for a suitable opponent. Coming to the god of the seas, the demon challenged him to battle, but the god declined, saying, "I am not competent to fight with you." The deity sent Dundubi to the Himavan mountain, telling him that he would get battle there, but the mountain also declined to fight with Dundubi. The demon roared angrily and demanded to know who could possibly face him. Himavan then said that Bali would prove a worthy combatant for him, and he directed Dundubi to Kishkinda. The furious demon, still in the form of a tremendous buffalo, rushed toward Bali's city. He appeared like a black cloud. He appeared like a black cloud racing through the skies in the rainy season. Dundubi arrived at the gates of Kishkinda and thundered like a large drum being violently beaten. That sound reverberated for miles, and it broke down the surrounding trees. Bali was enjoying with his wives in his palace. Drunk with wine and passion, he stood up and gazed about with reddened eyes. He was intolerant by nature, and the sound of the demon maddened him. He ran out of his palace, followed by his wives. Going before Dundubi, he said, "Why do you bellow like this, O demon? If you are challenging me, then you should have best flee immediately before I take your life." The demon laughed loudly. He said to Bali, "You should not challenge me in the presence of ladies, O gallant monkey. Fight with all your power, and I shall kill you today. Or if you prefer, you may remain for this night with your wives, and we shall fight tomorrow." It is improper to fight one who is drunk or blinded by passion. Return to your city and gaze upon it for one last time. Say fond farewells to your near and dear ones. Install your son upon the throne, and then come out for battle. Soon you will lie dead upon the earth. Bali laughed to hear this arrogant boasting. He sent his wives back into the city and said to Dundubi, "Do not make excuses to hide your fear. Take my inebriety to be the drunkenness of a warrior just prior to battle. We shall fight now." Bali tightened his cloth and stood like a mountain in front of Dundubi. The demon roared and, lowering his pointed horns, charged furiously at Bali. The monkey at once seized Dundubi by his horns and swung him around, throwing him down on the ground. Blood flowed from the demon's ears, and he got up and charged again. Rising up on his hind legs, he began pounding Bali with his hooves, making a sound like thunderclaps. He thrust his horns into Bali's body, but the monkey stood firm. The battle raged for some time as the two opponents beat each other furiously. Bali struck the demon with fists, knees, feet, rocks, and trees. Gradually, he overpowered Dundubi, who became exhausted. Bali then took hold of his horns and dashed him to the ground with great force. He whirled the lifeless demon around and tossed him to a distance of 8 miles. As he flew through the air, large amounts of blood flowed from his smashed body. Some drops fell upon the hermitage of the sage Matanga. The rishi stood up in a rage and looked around. He saw Dundabi's carcass, and by his mystic vision, he could understand that Bali had thrown the dead demon there. He immediately uttered a curse. If the monkey who threw this corpse ever steps within a 4-mile radius of this hermitage, he will immediately turn to stone. Thus, Sugriva explained why Bali did not dare come near Rishumukha. He pointed out to what appeared to be a massive heap of shining white rocks. Here are Dundabi's bones, tossed away by Bali. Even these bare bones can hardly be moved by any other person. Lakshman laughed contemptuously. What feat have you seen, Rama? What feat have you seen that Rama cannot easily equal? O Sugriva, I have not heard anything yet to indicate this brother of yours is formidable. Sugriva assured Lakshman that he was convinced of Rama's prowess, but he has not yet seen any demonstration of Rama's power, while on many occasions he had witnessed the power of Bali. He asked Rama to show him his strength by kicking away Dundabi's skeleton. Rama laughed again, and with his foot he playfully lifted the huge bones, flicking them high into the sky. That skeleton flew out of sight, landing some 80 miles away. Seeing the bones vanishing into the distance, Sugriva was impressed, but he still remained doubtful. He said to Rama, "You have thrown the dried up bones of Dundabi, but he was hurled by Bali when still a carcass full of flesh and blood. O Rama, forgive me, but there is one other test I should like to witness." Sugriva showed Rama and Lakshman 7 salt trees, each one more than 30 arms' length in diameter. In the past, Bali had easily broken down many such trees. Sugriva asked Rama to show his strength by piercing one of those trees right through with an arrow. Rama smilingly took up his bow and strung it, placing on a string a dreadful-looking arrow. He took aim and released the arrow, which passed cleanly through all 7 trees. The arrow, gilded with gold, entered the earth and descended to the subterranean regions. Forcing its way back up and out of the earth, it again entered Rama's quiver.